All right. So Marcy started off, and you guys have heard me harping on all of the stuff about Lauren Southern for a couple of weeks now, but she tweeted at Destiny. The Omni Liberal, you are such a pathetic joke. You rant and rave about how harmful and dangerous Demon Mama and Doe are, but then you buddy up with the known sarcastic terrorist, Lauren Southern, because your spite for the left is stronger than any convictions you might have. Now, Destiny responded to this, he just said, I have done far more damage with my contribution to the growing socialist communist dipshit on the internet than I ever have empowering people on the right. I have to go a long, long, long way to even come near the amount of damage I did radicalizing people to the left. Now, though this is true, I don't think the left is nearly as dangerous as the far right. That bee said she was on vacation. Isn't that, hey, so, yo, isn't that what she hated on him for when he freaking, when he went on vacation, and then he just spent the whole time on vacation, like, ranting about leftists? Like, didn't she go after him for that? Am I wrong about this? Is my memory... I feel like I remember that. Maybe I'm wrong. So, yeah. So, that was her take. This guy said taking the concept of stochastic terrorism seriously and thinking that it's something other than a fancy way to say guilt by association is a midwit hallmark. I don't know what a stochastic terrorist is. Whoops. So much for the vacation arc. That's funny. That's actually pretty funny. You seem like the kind of person that would fart onto your own hand and just whiff it later. The worst genre of political streamer accounts is the one that tries to farm clout by baiting the attention of this one idiot every other day. Very Reddit and very boring. Yet again, proving that Bastiat is the only good streamer. Oh, brother. Bastiat's a freaking... Never mind. Not going off on that one. It means lone wolf terrorist? I don't know what that means either. What the hell's a lone wolf terrorist? The term is used to suggest that a quantifiable relationship may exist between seemingly random acts of terror and their intended goal of perpetuating a reign of fear via a manipulation of mass media and its capacity for instant global news communication. Okay, so they're saying, like, people who influence others to become radicalized are stochastic terrorists, right? Am I getting that right? That definition seemed to be pretty loaded. So it's like a guilt by association. This person watches you and is a terrorist, and you radicalize them, so therefore you made them do a terrorism. That was her take. So I said Lauren Southern isn't that dangerous, though. Quote tweeted, it's less about converting her and more about his audience being converted. Example. Okay. So yeah. So a lot of this sort of stuff, and a lot of claims, a lot of freaking claims, just nothing backing it up. Like, she went out on a boat to shoot flares at refugees. This one again. This one again. What the heck?
Alright, welcome back, guys. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened to the stream. For those of you who don't know, we are heading out to go stop the migrant boats. There she is.
Yeah. Maybe you can see it, but it's right there. The big ship.
If the politicians won't stop the boats, we'll stop the boats.
Put out the red banner.
Put up the red banner.
Put out the red banner. Yeah.
Sorry, you can't see. It's too dark right now, guys. But there she is. Quick. Go in front. Go in front. Yeah.
Whoa. We need to turn.
Yeah. Which one? No more! No more! Illegal immigration! No more! No more! Illegal immigration! No more! No more! Illegal immigration! Get in front!
Illegal immigration.
No more! Illegal immigration! No more! No more! Illegal immigration! No more!
So this person said she went out on a boat to shoot flares at refugees. That is such a lie. Like, this is just, his comment was about how bad Lance was, I'm assuming. Okay, yeah. That's good. Good. They are so dishonest to say she shoots flares at refugees. And right after Lance said this, we all went on. Like, hopefully, most of you were here and remember this. We immediately went and searched it with Aiko on here defending it, saying that she shot flares at refugees. Right? That Aiko kept saying somebody like that does not transition back when they are that sick to where they are willing to shoot flares at refugees and try to kill them. So we went and looked it up. It didn't exist. Literally, the narrative did not exist before Lance said it on that stream. The claim did not exist anywhere. It was nowhere to be found until Lance said it on that stream. On a boat to see the refugees coming in droves, she shot the flare to get the Coast Guard's attention to arrest them. Yes, that is what she did. And I'm not defending it. I don't want to make it sound like I'm defending that. But it is this idea, and I had this argument with Aiko on there that night, that lots of times these leftists get this idea, this person is bad, so now I get to accuse them of all of the bad things, right? We're talking about Vash, and me and Aiko, and I'm telling her, well, Vash didn't actually do these things. And she's like, why do you care? Why do you defend him? We already know that he's bad. It's like, why do I care what the truth is? He does bad, so now let's just accuse him of whatever we want because he's bad? That's ridiculous. So yeah, the whole thing was cringe. Lauren Southern was totally cringe. It was weird. It was ridiculous. They were literally chanting all of these weird, don't come take over our homes or some crap like that. It was all weird. Even if you're against illegal immigration and for legal immigration and that, you go with that narrative. Cool. This is still cringe. I don't care. So Java Bolt said, do you have fun spreading lies? Louis Baton, who I actually know Louis. I've invited him on a bunch of my panels. He signed up to come on my panels. Actually, he signed up to come onto my panels literally right behind Marcy. That's how I found out about Marcy and how I found out about Louis Baton is I met both of them by them signing up to go on tomfoolery panels on Danabo's Discord. Said, if you're so confident, be on it. Oh yeah, he said she made a whole effing doco on doing it, idiot. She did not make a whole documentary on shooting flares at refugees. These freaking people, they're gonna drive me crazy. That's good. So actually, this is the one that I thought was Neo Morai for some reason. I don't know why. I had just woken up. I check my notifications. I have 1,000 notifications on Twitter. This is the first one I pull up, and I thought it was Neo Morai. I have no clue why. I really don't. I think that she had like a red and black profile picture the other day, and so I just saw the red and black, and I automatically thought of Neo Morai. But you see, Tom, the Coast Guard is a section of the state, and the state owns a monopoly on violence. So she didn't physically do the violence, but she brought the violence. Yeah. I mean, I mean that's not incorrect. Like that's actually a fair line of logic. But I don't know that there was actually any violence. From what I understand, there weren't even refugees on the boat. She thought there were refugees on the boat. They went and searched the boat. There were no refugees there. So, like, nothing happened. No, like, literally nothing came of that. And the other narrative was that, like, she tried to run the boat that they were on into the refugee boat. The refugee boat was like the size of a freaking cruise ship, and she's on a little fisherman boat. Like, what in what world does that little fisherman boat run a massive tanker of a ship off the ocean? So yeah, this person said she wanted them dead. She actually wanted them to die. Her hope was for the refugees to jump in the water and drown. She attempted to murder them. That's called attempted murder. Any reasonable human would know that firing a flare like that can result in deaths. So yeah, I don't know if this person is trolling. I can't tell. They don't have any freaking tweets. Let's see, not to mention Marxists have been dunking on Contra for days over that NV video. Oh, wow, so they were being serious. They were being serious. They think that Marxists have been dunking on ContraPoints. That's that's what they think. Damn, if that was me, I made a cringe tweet. That's why I was freaking messaging you. I was about to lose my freaking mind. I was like, what? Like, what smacked Neo over the head and made her just like lose all brain function to where she would go and tweet something like this at me? Like, what happened here? So I said, LOL, she shot it straight in the air. It wasn't dangerous at all. You make it up as you go. So then I get into this person, into it with this person, Jimmy Ruffian. Said, hey mate, let's take a quick minute here to sit and think about what you think you're defending. I said, I've been clear. I'm defending allowing someone to move positions without condemning old stuff. I was far right just a couple years ago. Yeah, my whole point is that you guys are mad at Destiny for having somebody on his show and talking to them. That's it. We should totally mess with Tom on Twitter now. I am so down. Let's go. We can do a whole new quibbles over coffee drama. The Zonia and Neo chapter. So yeah, like that's it. That's my whole thing. I just think that if people are moving positions, to continue attacking them on old positions is unfair. Now, they're all coming out and saying, hey, I have never seen her condemn those old positions. Fair. That would be cool. That would be great. But she also has like completely rebranded and is just giving like more middle of the road Republican takes at this point. So then they say, so she's pretending to be middle of the road while still holding far right Nazi beliefs. Great take, Tom. And then I say, maybe. So, if she never espouses those beliefs, then why do we care? Who cares? If she never talks about those things, who cares? If she's not actually pushing people in that direction, who cares? Destiny could literally be a Nazi right now, have Nazi tattoos all under his shirt. He could have, he shaved his head and actually be a skinhead. Like, as long as everything that he actually espouses is good, well-intentioned, or not well-intentioned, but middle of the road beliefs, like if that's where he's pulling people, if that's where he's pushing people, then it's good. It's fine. Be a Nazi all you want. As long as you're not radicalizing anybody, then it's okay. Why isn't Quibbles on right now attacking Lauren Southern and taking down 2? Too much of a coward? True. Actually, Quibbles is on his way. We're getting ready to start our new show, Fence Sitters. He's actually a skinhead, but streams in a wig to hide the power level. Yes. Well, that's what everybody keeps saying. They're like, she's hiding her power level. Like, cool. As long as she continues to hide her power level, then we're all good, right? Like, why does it matter? So, I mean, and she's not even like dog whistling or anything. Like, I don't understand. So, yeah. So she hasn't moved positions. Her verbiage is different, much more cautious, but her intent is the same. She believes white people are intentionally being erased by some force, either domestic or foreign. That's like, okay, to believe that white people are being erased is a fairly like normal view to have on the right side. Like, that's a fairly common view for Republicans. Just most Republicans don't like care that much. Like, they'll talk about it sometimes, but it's not some like Jewish conspiracy theory to get rid of white people, right? Lots of like, it's even a middle of the road Republican view to say things like, man, it's really strange that like there's such a small amount of Jews in the world, but they're like highly representative in the elites, right? Like, isn't that kind of strange? Like, they ask those questions and they are literally just asking questions. Like, they think it's strange. They don't have answers for it. They're not conspiracy theorists. They just think it's strange. They think it's interesting. They think, what a coincidence, right? They truly do think about those things, but they don't have the answers. They don't know why that exists. And so they walk around just saying things like, yeah, that's strange, huh? Weird. To people like them, they would automatically be Nazis. They're automatically Nazis, but they're not. They're just your regular run-of-the-mill Republicans. And I think that's where Lauren Southern is moving. But as long as she says anything right-wing whatsoever, she's still a Nazi. So I said, I've asked again, or I'll ask again, evidence, please. So Demon Mama jumps in. Yeah. Oh, wait. Is there... Okay, so yeah, here comes Demon Mama. Tom, I've been reviewing Lauren's videos in depth. You're wrong on this one. Please look a little deeper into this. I've respected you as a reasonable righty for a long time, but this ain't the fight, I promise. I said I went into her videos in depth last night. I got a different impression. I'd be happy to have anyone who wants to explain to me what it is they are looking for, but I'm looking for the dangerous beliefs to no longer be espoused. She still has some bad beliefs, but more like a run-of-the-mill Republican, which I'd still say Republicans have dangerous views, but I'm not going to treat them like they're all Nazis. She said, "We'll talk sometime. Sure, I assure you, you're missing quite a lot." Yeah, I don't think so. So yeah, so that's where that discourse went. But then, wait, actually, hold on, no. I didn't go far enough. Hold on. We got a little bit more to go. So when I asked for evidence, Valentina said, crap like this. She doesn't say it outright since she knows she can't get away with her current rebranding attempt, but the core ethos is there. And the whole thing says, "I'm sure it is, as legal immigrants tend to be vetted very well. These are illegal immigrants." Again, this is a run-of-the-mill Republican take to say, I am okay with legal immigration. I'm only against illegal immigration. That's literally like a run-of-the-mill Democrat take. That's not even right-wing. That's probably the majority of Americans. It's ridiculous that they look at that and say, this is dog whistling. It's like, wait, no, that's not dog whistling. That's literally like just a regular American idea that like illegal immigration is bad and legal immigration is good. Breaking the law bad, not breaking the law good. Man, she's a Nazi. Like that's where we're at right now. This one was easy to find, juxtaposing people acting out of ignorant, selfish self-interest with BLM. That dog whistle is loud and clear from here. Okay, let's check this dog whistle. Everybody ready for the dog whistle? We got the dogs? Are all the dogs in chat to hear the dog whistle? Yo, dogs. I don't see any barking. Let's get some barking. Or howling. Okay. You guys suck. Oh. Maybe I'll make it to where you guys can hear it, I guess. I'll share the sound with you. This one time. Don't start expecting this from me though, okay?
The fact that the rich are getting richer from it and the poor are getting poorer by no fault of their own, but due to dirty government preference, price manipulation, and favoritism is the worst concoction of government failure and corporate greed. And the very people who are supposed to be railing against this are telling everyone who talks about it that they're a conspiracy theorist who must shut up. The battlefield of current communists and socialists is against other working class people who the elites have gaslit them into thinking are their enemies. Great job, guys. Awesome work. At this point, you might as well just join up with Reason.com. You are literally the Lupin proletariat. For those of you who don't know, the Lupin proletariat is a group in Marxist thought that describes people who are supposed to be a part of the working class but were so stupid that they ended up working against it. As described by historian Robert Bussard, they are a parasitical group at obsolete stages of social development that could not play a progressive role in society. They acted only out of ignorant self-interest. They are easily bribed by reactionary forces and were used to combat the true proletariat in their efforts to bring down the bourgeoisie. And because they exploit society for their own ends, they are exploited as a tool of destruction.
Sorry, was I muted? Okay. So yeah, they he's saying that because the type of proletariat that she was talking about is from Marx's theory. It's a label that he puts on people who are socialists, but the things that they do actually move people away from socialism instead of moving people towards socialism. It's like a useful idiot within the socialist movement, or people who are just too extreme. This is literally 90% of people on Twitter. Oh, nice, Chase. But yeah, like 90% of the socialists that are on Twitter are Lupin proletariats. 90% of them are people who say the most ridiculous things and make the rest of us just not like socialism or socialists. This is not a ridiculous take. It's not a dog whistle. Lots of the people who are out rioting are Lupin proletariats. This is correct. This is a factual thing. This is not, we can look at the stats and see that the more riots that happened, the more that Americans disliked BLM. This is a factual thing. It's not a theory. It's not a dog whistle.
Remind you of anyone.
Yes, it reminds me of literally everybody that I'm arguing with right here. I said, yo, this is based as hell. Kind of the point of my video I'm working on right now. Y'all don't care to move people's positions. You just want to hate on folks. Someone needs to watch Contra's new Envy video. Thank you for this. We literally, in the Envy video by ContraPoints, the entire time she's talking about how all of these people online, all they want to do is hate on people. That's the entire point. They're not trying to shame them into a better position. They just want to shame them. They hate them for something, and so they want to direct as much hate towards that person as possible. It isn't a game plan to get them to move positions. It's not a game plan to get them to come agree with them. It's not a game plan at all. It's just, I don't like you because we disagree, so I am going to hate you and try to get everybody else to hate you as well. This is exactly what ContraPoints was talking about in her Envy video that we just went over. So Marcy responds to this and says, MF watched Envy and came away with, Lauren Southern is good, actually. What the fudge? That is nowhere close to what I said. 1, I never said Lauren Southern is good. 2, I never said that ContraPoints was saying that Lauren Southern is good. I said, you guys look like freaking idiots when all you do is hate on people and lie about them in order to be able to hate on them. You have to say that Lauren Southern tried to sink a tanker and murder people. You have to say she literally tried to murder people in order to hate on her. Here we go. She wanted them dead. She actually wanted them to die. Her hope was for the refugees to jump in the water and drown. She attempted to murder them. That's called attempted murder. Any reasonable human would know that firing a flare like that can result in deaths. Firing a flare straight up into the sky can result in deaths, apparently. From what I understand, even if you fired a flare straight at a person, it wouldn't kill them. I don't even think it would set them on fire. Flares don't work that way. So to turn around after I say, yo, this is based as hell, kind of the point of the video I'm working on right now. Y'all don't care to move people's positions. You just want to hate on folks. Someone needs to watch Contra's new Envy video. Thank you for this. Right? All I'm saying is you guys don't care about actually advocating for your positions. You don't care about moving people. You don't care about educating people. You just want to hate on them. And when you have an example of somebody like Lauren Southern, who seems to show some signs that she is trying to do better, does that mean that I agree with all of her takes? No, not at all. But is she still a Nazi? Probably not. Was she a Nazi? Yeah, she was a white nationalist. She was an alt-righter. She was all of those things, for sure. But for the last year or so, ever since she came out with her video, I'm Back, ever since then, she has had more middle-of-the-road, regular, run-of-the-mill Republican takes. This is better. This is improvement. And for you to still hate on the improvement and act as though the improvement doesn't matter because she shot a flare in the sky one time seems a little disingenuous. Seems like you're a liar. Seems like you just make stuff up. Seems like you are exactly who ContraPoints was talking about in her Envy video. But I digress. MF watched Envy and came away with Lauren Southern is good, actually. I never said Lauren Southern's good. Never said it. I said I was saying people moving positions should be the point of online politics, not just rage hating on people like Destiny or Lauren. I'm embarrassed for you that I need to explain these simple things to you. Grow up. She said, MF, you can't treat thought leaders the same as random subscribers to a bad ideology. Thought leaders have a vested interest in not changing and in growing their audience. Moving positions doesn't mean just having everyone on to shoot, to hang out. I said, are you really that dumb? Like, truly? That's not what I said. You couldn't be more blatantly bad faith. This is beautiful. What the hell? What just happened? If I click on it. Okay. She said, to be honest, I'm not paying attention to the argument and I'm going to mute the thread. LOL. I have better things to do today. I know you're full of crap when you say Lauren validates trans people, though, because that's just not true. Okay. That's just not true. Should we do it? Now, when I say she validates trans people, I'm saying that she says that trans people are valid. That, she takes the side of trans people. She acknowledges their pronouns. She acknowledges that they are a different gender than what they were born with.
Question proposed treatments for it. Love and sympathy are not mutually exclusive from these things, and pretending they are absolutely poisons the discourse and is so neglectful of complex relationships in the real world between, for example, parents who love their child very much but may just have concerns about them thinking they're transgender and the treatments involved and potential desistance. These people deserve a voice and deserve not to be misrepresented as hating their own child, nor do other people who have legitimate questions and worries around the subject of transgenderism, which brings me back to the idea of gender dysphoria being real and what this means in our world. How do we interact with that concept? Well, the other day I had a very interesting conversation with the YouTuber Destiny about the idea of being trans age. There are people that we do in fact socially transition to an extent because their mind does not match their body. Take people with learning disabilities, someone who has the mind of a 5-year-old but is in the body of a 40-year-old. We do not pretend they are biologically still 5 because that would cause some serious issues around medication dosages, self-care, simple things like clothing shopping, but we also don't treat them like they're 40 as this would cause significant social issues. Like we probably shouldn't give them a driver's license. We also probably shouldn't leave them alone without care. And we must recognize we have to have extra care and patience for them and have to socially treat them differently because their mind does not match their body.
So she literally talks about how Destiny moved her on trans issues in this video. She shows trans people in an empathetic light and doesn't misgender them. She talks about how hard it is to have gender dysphoria, and she talks about how we shouldn't shame trans people for being trans.
We need to have love and care for these people. And while I absolutely think that every subject must be open for jokes and comedy, transgenderism included, if your end goal isn't comedic relief, but instead genuinely nasty mockery and tearing people down for having a psychological disorder, we do not share the same views. And I certainly do.
This sounds like validation of trans people. She's moderate conservative. She's got questions about this very complex subject. Yeah, like this is a very complex subject. And she is starting at the right place. It's not like it took me years to come to the understanding that I currently have of trans issues. Like it took a very long time of studying, of researching, of debates, of conversations. It took a long freaking time, okay? I mean, just not too long ago, me and Kay Fellows were on a stream where I was talking about how, like, trans people aren't really, like, a trans man isn't really like a man, because I can very easily beat up all women, but I can't beat up trans women, so it's really hard for me to call them a woman when I can't beat them up as easily. And I talked about how I can beat women up easily for the next like 30 minutes. It was very strange. I was really drunk. She was really high. It was one of the weirdest conversations I've ever gone back and listened to and sat there and thought, what the hell? What was this freaking logic? What was I doing here? I literally talked for 30 minutes about how I can beat up women. Like, what? Why did Kay just allow me to continue saying this stuff? Like, what happened here? And I sent her just like a million, like, you know, face slap emojis the next morning. Like, oh no. What did I say? I don't even remember last night's stream. Why did I talk for 30 minutes about beating up women? Like, what was this? Like, yeah, that was not too long ago. Okay? I was high AF. I was not a responsible party. I mean, I was drunk. I wasn't a responsible party. But the point is, I, as somebody who has a very well-grounded, in-depth understanding of trans issues, and can go and talk to and explain it to people all day, every day, I will never be able to explain to the most good faith person who starts off with gender is sex. I will never be able to move them off that position in one day. It's like a presupposition. Like, it is something that seems so fundamental to you that it would be impossible to just move you off of it. Like, if I explain to you that actually gravity doesn't exist, that in reality we are the ones pulling the ground to our feet, it's not the ground is pulling us to it, like, that would be just so, like, mind-shattering for a while that you would sit there and think, what? No. What? Maybe, but why? Like, and it would take a long time to hear the case and hear more information about it and understand it. The most good faithist person of ever would not be able to just understand these things. But it seems as though Lauren Southern is making a good faith effort and is changing her beliefs. And this, to me, sounds like validating trans people. Now, she goes on, and yes, she does go on to talk about how kids getting puberty blockers is not helpful, or like kids should not be allowed to take puberty blockers, is what she goes on to say. This is a complex subject. This isn't simple. As much as the rest of us have engaged in this for a very long time to where we think of this as simple now, it's not simple. It's not. And it is something that takes time to understand. So, when she comes out with a take like this, yes, I would say she is validating trans people. So this person said, man, when you use words like troll and bad faith, that's some sickeningly sweet irony. What else we're trying to say when comparing LS to Envy video? What function was that supposed to perform? These people are literally like, they are literally the worst. They are seriously the worst. So, Marcy then goes on to retweet my tweet that says, tomfoolery, Lauren Southern's biggest simp. I mean, I haven't had her on my show. I haven't invited her on my show. I'm not a fan of Lauren Southern. I don't watch her content. I don't promote her content. All I say is, don't be the person who refuses to accept someone's new beliefs when the point in getting online and advocating for our positions is to move people's beliefs. If all you do is get on and advocate for your positions, but when people actually start to believe you, you then shame them for believing you, then you're a piece of crap. I used to watch Lauren a lot, shamefully. I did too. I watched Lauren back in the day. I wasn't a huge fan of hers at any point. I never watched like her documentaries or anything. I didn't follow her around, but I was a fan of hers. I watched a small amount of her content. I watched her mostly on like Steven Crowder or on Gavin McInnes' show or people like that. Like those were the people that I watched. I didn't really like Lauren Southern all that much. So I would totally talk to Lauren on here. Yeah, I'm not against talking to Lauren. My point is to call me the biggest simp as though I'm chasing Lauren around. Like, if I was her biggest simp, don't you think I would have gone and tried to talk to her already? Like, if I was her biggest simp, don't you think I would have engaged with her at one point in my entire career as a simp? There are possibly bigger simps out there, I reckon. Maybe. I mean, maybe there's a bigger simp than me for Lauren Southern. But yeah. So she said tomfoolery, Lauren Southern's biggest simp. Because I said, LOL, she shot it straight in the air. It wasn't dangerous at all. You make it up as you go. Man, I got totally owned right there. I got totally owned. They are trying to claim that she shot flares at immigrants. And when I say, you have no proof of this, she says, you're a simp. Got him. Damn, I was proven totally wrong. So I said, based. Yeah, said, I think Xander Hall has him beat.